Hi everyone. I thought I would do a video for the new beekeeper on some tools and generally basics for when you're doing hive inspections that I found were very helpful my first year of beekeeping. I'm currently on my 4th year, and of course we're always learning, but this is something that I felt like was very handy, and that is this bucket to keep all of my hive tools and necessary tools and things that I might need, accessories, when I'm doing hive inspections. Of course, you're going to need your smoker, and since most of them have this hook on them, it's easy to attach it. But let me just show you the basic setup here. If you go to your big box home improvement store, which you can tell here, you can find this tool accessory bucket. I don't even know what you call it, but it fits perfectly on one of these home improvement 5-gallon buckets. It fits right over. It's got all of these pouches on the outside, and this is what I take with me whenever I'm doing hive inspections. So let me tell you what I keep inside. I keep lots of smoker fuel. So you can keep cotton in here, you can keep burlap, you can keep natural brown paper. I keep lots of dry pine straw with me when using my smoker. Of course, you're going to want these. You can use any lighter. I like these because they tend to last a little bit longer and they fit right inside the pouches here on my bucket. Hive tools. I've got several. Let me just show you a few that I have. I think I started out with this one. Probably moved to this one. And this one right here, if you can tell, it's got a little bit of a slanted edge to it, which makes it easy to get in between the boxes and lift the boxes up. That's very helpful. This one actually does too, right on the edge. But this one has a J-hook, and this one has the bent edge there that's good for separating frames. This is the one I use the most, and I absolutely love it. It's got every bit of those that are on these two hive tools. It's got the J-hook, it's got the curved tip to separate frames, and then it's got the graduated tip here for getting in between the boxes and separating them. So these fit right into the pouches here easily. Won't ever get lost again. I usually bring my bee brush. This is used all the time when I'm getting ready to harvest honey frames, to get the bees off gently. You can always use a branch with some leaves on it to brush them off, but this is very helpful. I usually have a entrance reducer in case I need it. Sometimes when I take them off the hives, it's easy just to throw it in the bucket and keep them for later in case you might need them when the weather changes. Or if you're actually installing a nuke into a hive body and want to reduce the entrance for a few days. Beetle blasters. This is what I use, and here in the deep south, we have quite a hard time with small hive beetles, and especially these past couple of years, it's really been a struggle because our winters have been quite mild, and so the beetles have been horrible. So I usually have a nice supply of beetle blasters in my bucket, and I use either diatomaceous earth or just regular oil, cooking oil. Canola oil is what I usually use. This is actually vegetable oil to fill these up about 1/3 of the way. Takes care of the beetles for you. They fall in the top slats here, drown in the liquid, or get caught up in the diatomaceous earth and can't get out. So these are a must. Another thing that I use for beetles that I have found to be quite effective is the use of these Swiffer cloths, the dry Swiffer cloths, and I tear them in strips and put them along the edge of the hive, right on top, usually in the back corners or along the back edge, the fuzzy part up where the beetles can get caught in it when trying to enter the hive, and hopefully that takes care of the beetles. The past 2 years I've been using the Swiffer sheets in my hives as well as the beetle blasters. That, and along with frequent inspections during the main part of the season, spring, summer, and fall, to try to kill those beetles and keep them at bay. I usually keep an extra pair of gloves with me in case maybe I get a tear in a glove when I'm doing hive inspections. I love these gloves. I started out my first year using heavy duty leather or goat skin beekeeping gloves, but I found that they were almost a little too thick and heavy for me, so I use a pair of small or medium 8mm latex gloves, and you can get a big supply of these, you know, online, and it'll last you all season. Throw them away, don't have to worry about them. But I usually keep an extra pair in my bucket. When it's time to treat for varroa mites, I use Apivar strips, so I keep a supply of these in my bucket when it's time to put the Apivar strips in the hive. I have also treated with oxalic acid vaporization, and I've done videos on that before. I find that very effective too, especially into the fall and right before the big winter hits, to get rid of those mites before closing them up for winter. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I have a frame, what do you call this? A frame holder, I guess. You can perch this on the outside of your hive body, and it will hold the frames for you. If you don't want to set them down on the ground or outside of the hive anywhere, you can, frame perch, I guess that's what this is called. If you don't want to sit your frames down on the ground, this is very useful. I keep that in my bucket. And I've got a couple of queen clips. You never know when you might find that queen and need to isolate her while you do a split, or I don't know, what other hive maintenance you may do that you need to isolate your queen, or if you're going to catch a swarm, queen clips. And what I do with those is keep them clipped right outside here. So I've got, let's see, a magnifying glass. Sometimes those eggs are hard to spot down in the cells, and sometimes very young larvae are hard to spot down in the cells. So I have a magnifying glass that I use for that. And I think that'll about cover it. But I just wanted to share this little secret. It's probably not even really a secret, but it's very helpful. And I take this with me whenever I go out to inspect my hives. It's got everything I could need with it and inside of it, and ready to go. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to build up my viewing audience, and hopefully posting some things that are useful and informative, and especially for the female beekeeper. I think sometimes beekeeping can be a little overwhelming and daunting, and I want to show people that anybody can do it, and it's a passion and a hobby that everyone loves when you get into it. So thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.